This is Katie Colleen here. Welcome back, Colleen Clan, or if you are new, then come join the family. Today we are ranking the random spontaneous cosplays I made in the year of 2020 during lockdown. It has been a crazy year, and with this year I have made a lot of cosplays I never thought I'd make. I made a lot of cosplays I may never wear again. So I made 10 cosplays this year, and that I'm actually super proud of. I generally make more than that, but this was such a hard year for motivation that I feel like 10 is like amazing. Like, I'm killing it. I did a great job. So I'm going to be going through every cosplay I made this year, and I'm going to be ranking them from 1 to 5 stars, okay? Let me set out the ranking system for you. So a 1 star would be, this cosplay is so awful and weird, I don't think I could even sell it for money. Like, I would feel bad asking for money just to get rid of this cosplay from my closet. That's a 1 star. And then a 5 star would be, I can wear this to my next con, whenever that is. I could wear this to a con without making any alterations. It is good to go, it is finished and beautiful, and I can just, you know, take it out of my closet, put it on, and debut it as a con as is, and I would be happy with that. And then 2, 3, and 4 just kind of fall somewhere in between there. I feel like that's a good range for me. So let's see, what did I make this year? The first cosplay I made in 2020 was actually before lockdown happened. It seemed kind of strange to exclude that cosplay from this video, so I'm going to include that one as well. So the first cosplay I made in 2020 was my Elsa Bob Ross cosplay. So this is actually the most intense cosplay I made for the entire year of 2020. Like, as far as craftsmanship and stuff, it's all downhill after this one, unfortunately. So my Elsa cosplay was quite the endeavor. I also did this like crazy painting thing, and I didn't really use the right sorts of materials for it, so it was very difficult to make it look good. What would I rate Elsa as? Now, I actually probably will not wear Elsa again because of the progression of my disability, and it's really hard to wear the hoop skirt and it's too uncomfortable. Taking my like physical ability to wear this costume out of the equation, I would give her a 4 stars. So I still need to change up a few little things and change the hoop skirt, but were I able to wear her again without being in a whole lot of discomfort, I would definitely take her to a con again. So then in March, I made Rock Lee. So I actually started Rock Lee before lockdown with the idea of wearing Rock Lee to SakuraCon, and my husband was going to be my guide, and it was going to be super fun, and SakuraCon canceled. So I ended up finishing Rock Lee like during the lockdown when it just started. But yeah, I love Rock Lee. I have some tutorials up. So Rock Lee. I actually would give Rock Lee 5 stars. But yeah, I would definitely pull Rock Lee out as is and wear to a convention. There's nothing really I want to like change or redo. In April, I made my very first quarantine cosplay build. Now, this is something I started on my channel this year, and a quarantine cosplay build is a cosplay made entirely from materials in my own home, with the idea that I wouldn't have to go shopping, I wouldn't have to deal with the horrid shipping times, and I wouldn't have to go out. I could make the whole cosplay here. Now, the thing about quarantine cosplay builds is, instead of the traditional method of picking a character and then buying fabric to match that character you want to cosplay, I had to assess my fabric stash and then pick a character that matched my fabric stash, right? So I couldn't be terribly picky on who I cosplayed. I just had to look at what fabric I had and then somehow like derive a character that I could make from that fabric stash. So in April, I made my very first quarantine cosplay build, and that was Lucy from Fairy Tail. It was her Grand Magic Games outfit. Okay, there's a lot more behind this Lucy cosplay. So I think I did a good job. I really loved how I did the armor. I have a full set of tutorials on her if you want to know how I did it. And the thing is, I really wanted to be Urza. Honestly, I'm more of an Urza, I think, than a Lucy. And the thing is, I did not have the correct fabric in my stash to cosplay Urza's Grand Magic Games. The fabric was just way too flimsy for her like coat she has going on, but it had a really good stretch, so it was perfect for Lucy. So what would I rate Lucy? I'd say like 3.5 or 4 stars. The top that I made it when my serger was down, but it definitely bothers me and I feel like I could do better with a working serger. So I think I would remake the top. I might buy her a proper wig, since the wig I currently use for her is actually my Wonder Girl wig. I think I would probably take Lucy to a con one day. So then come May, the next month later, I made my Femme Bakugo cosplay. This was definitely the most unexpected cosplay, and this is definitely showing how quarantine cosplay builds really just look at the fabric and not the character, because I just don't really feel like I'm a good Bakugo. What do I think about Bakugo? Bakugo was like not a bad cosplay, but honestly not that great. I don't know, it was okay. I would probably only wear Bakugo to a convention if it was probably for some sort of group cosplay. I definitely need to remake a lot of parts. It was pretty rough. I'd say like, I'd go with like 2 for Bakugo, honestly. Yeah, sorry Bakugo. So I made 2 cosplays in May, and I made Summer Adora next. So Summer Adora was a 1-day cosplay build that I made for a virtual convention I was attending, and first of all, super comfortable. Such a comfortable cosplay. Yeah, honestly, I really love Summer Adora. Again, not like the best quality craftsmanship, because by May I was already a few cosplays in to this quarantine cosplay build thing, and I was kind of running out of a lot of like more common supplies. So when I got to Summer Adora, I feel like I was definitely kind of like at the bottom of my cosplay stash for a little bit there. So I'd give Summer Adora a 4.5. So super comfortable. I felt super confident in that cosplay. And it'd be good for like a Sunday of the convention. I would have to like fix up a few things since my hair is not naturally long enough to at least canon wise have my hair the same way. I might have to get a wig. And in June I made my Supergirl Killers of Krypton outfit. Now, like I mentioned, I was getting to the bottom of my scraps, and come June, my mother-in-law sent over 2 entire bins of like random fabric scraps from when she was kind of clearing out. So in June, I had like this huge influx of like more fabric scraps, right? And the thing about this cosplay, it was for a video titled like making a Supergirl cosplay on a 1970s sewing machine. So in June, the sewing repair shop finally opened up. I took my serger and my sewing machine in for maintenance, and I was using my my mom's old 1970s sewing machine to sew on. And I'd say maybe I'll go with 4.5. I don't think she's quite a 5-star. So the thing is, I really love this cosplay. I think it's so cute. Since I used the 1970s sewing machine, I wasn't able to do applique stitching or any of the other fancy things I usually do. And I would probably, if I had the chance, go over the symbol with an applique stitch just to clean it up a little. I do think that is one I will potentially wear to a convention again. It'd be perfect for a summer con. So there's another project I did over 2020 that was not a cosplay project. I felt it should at least get an honorable mention. So honorable mention goes to my wedding dress. I also sewed my wedding dress during this crazy year, and I had a like COVID wedding. We had to get an elopement. Nobody was there, and all that craziness. Anyways, I made my wedding dress. I'm not going to rate how likely it would be that I would wear my wedding dress to the next convention, because I don't really see that in my future. I just wanted to give a little shout out that I made this beautiful dress also during this year. And then in August, I made Queen Bee from Miraculous Ladybug. So the thing with this cosplay is it was another cosplay made like for a YouTube video. It's titled like queen bee cosplay build before I chop my hair off or something. So I spent a lot of 2020 doing natural hair cosplays because it's cheap, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, shipping times on wigs this year was insane. It took well over a month for some wigs to arrive, and by then my motivation for that character was long gone. I was kind of done with that, right? I was looking to do one last cosplay with my natural hair before I cut it short. Like, all of these cosplays were really heavily impacted by my ability to get supplies, shipping times, like all the things that 2020 has brought us. Definitely affected the cosplays I made this year. I ended up borrowing some fabric, well, borrowing, she donated it to the cause, some fabric from my grandma. I ordered some really awful and horribly smelling fabric from Amazon, and we got this cosplay done. So I'm totally planning on pretty much redoing a large portion of that cosplay, and I commissioned a wig for her, so I'll have a nice, like, professionally done up wig. I'd say a 3. There were lots of the parts of the cosplay that I think I did a good job on, but there were some parts that just were not that good because I couldn't get the right fabrics. So in September, I made Lucille. And Lucille broke me. She did. Lucille broke whatever motivation I had. I don't know if you've noticed, but like at this point throughout the year, like I'm kind of chugging along. Life is hard. It's, you know, a pandemic, and I couldn't get married how I wanted to, and I lost my job, and then I got a new job, and I'm still just like chugging along, you know? I'm just like, I'm gonna make YouTube videos, and I'm gonna make cosplay content, even though some things are not ideal right now. And Lucille just like broke that. I started Lucille like 2 years ago or something, and I just didn't have the motivation to finish her. And then I kind of picked back up on working on Lucille in like April or something, and then I lost motivation again. Like, the motivation was not there. I did not want to make this cosplay. So I basically like forced myself to make this cosplay, even though I didn't have any motivation, so I could get this tutorial out. Basically, I had started the tutorial like well over a year ago, and I was like, the longer I wait, the harder it's gonna be to edit, and the video isn't gonna seem as continuous, it's gonna be weird and choppy, and I just need to finish this cosplay so I can finish my YouTube video. And I did. And Lucille doesn't fit me well. The wings turned out good. I do like the wings, but there's a lot that needs to be redone. I had originally imagined the cosplay with like so much hand beading all over the bodice and skirt. I imagined rhinestones attached everywhere, and I didn't get to do that because I had no motivation. So I'd give Lucille like a 2.5. Let's go 2.5 for Lucille. And a lot of that is just because I don't want to wear her again until I do some serious modifications. We're talking hours and hours and hours of hand beading, hours of attaching rhinestones, and also just because it like ruined my motivation for a very long time. So now we're getting towards the end of this year. In November, I made Whitney from Pokemon. This is another cosplay I would not have expected myself to make. I made Whitney for a collab I was participating in, and so I just made Whitney to like fill in that space in the collab. Super cute character, fun character. I just didn't expect myself to make that cosplay this year. I'd give Whitney a, I think 5 stars. There's nothing I really want to like redo on that cosplay. It all looks very nice. I will add to that though that I also don't really see myself wearing her to a convention unless it's for like a Pokemon group or something. Just, I don't know. Don't feel like I'd wear Whitney as compared to some of my other cosplays. And then the very last cosplay I made in 2020 was my Christmas Karin cosplay, which I made a few weeks ago. Actually, I'm really excited about it because I think next year when Christmas parties are a thing again, I'm just gonna wear that coat to all my Christmas parties, and I'll just wear it like as normal people clothes, not just cosplay. You know what, I'd give Karin 5 stars too. Yeah, I'd put her up there. Yeah, I'd give her 5 stars. I will also say for Corinne though that I probably would not wear her Christmas version to a convention unless it was like a Christmas themed convention thing. And with that, that is all 10 cosplays and a wedding dress that I made in 2020 and how I rated all of them. So it has been kind of a different type of content this year, as I'm making a lot of characters that just I never would have really chosen to make if it weren't for, you know, trying to make cosplays for my scraps, trying to like deal with all these other things. So I guess what I'm really getting at is 2020 has been a year. It's been a year, and I just wanted to extend like a thank you to everyone on this channel. And thank you for being willing to watch whatever random stuff I throw out, because I threw out some really random and weird cosplays this year. And looking into 2021, I've learned to stop trying to weigh myself down with cosplans, and I've just thrown them to the wind. And now I just make whatever I feel is interesting and shiny in the moment, and I just go after that. So to 2021, where I will be making whatever catches my eye for more than 5 minutes. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!